All right, guys.
Welcome to the Deer Shot Podcast, presented by Siman Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company.
He went and watched a movie that has a $200 million production budget, and then the next thing he watched was our video on YouTube that has a $0 production budget.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years.
Your track job was the first fun track job. That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video for the whole world to see.
That's what Caleb did. 5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun. Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun.
Joey takes
The shop is closing up.
Make sure he takes all his right antlers. You can't leave anything.
Deer Shot Podcast, episode 139. It is May 17th. We're recording this on Sunday. It's releasing on Monday, the 18th. So when you're listening, we recorded yesterday.
If you haven't watched our latest video, go watch it.
Yep, there's a video out today. Trouts and turkeys camp. We talked about that a couple weeks ago on the pod, but the video's out, and I would venture to say that this has been our best year for turkey hunting and turkey hunting videos that we've ever had.
We're famous for saying no one cares about turkey hunting videos, which is still true.
Yeah,
but a little bit more than no one cares this year.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit better this year on the turkey hunting view videos stuff, which is good because I like making them. On the podcast today, me, Isaac, and Ethan, we're doing a short one. We're doing
chilling on a Sunday.
We've been working up at the lake all day to get it into shape. If you're one of our local friends and you know where that is, it requires a lot of work, but none of us live here anymore besides Ethan, so we had to come over and make an effort to whip her into shape, which we did.
Keeping the back 40 in shape.
Keeping the back 40 in shape.
Working off a hangover from a wedding.
I felt really bad this morning, but I feel fine now.
Yeah,
I feel really good. I had to sweat it out and drink a whole bunch of Gatorade. And
what's worse, a hangover or a bad night at work than having stuff to do the next day?
Ooh. I think they're equally. It's like that old test that they talk about where people say it's more dangerous to drive tired than drunk. Because when you're driving drunk,
text and drive and then drive drunk.
When you're driving drunk, at least normally those people are trying to pay attention to the road because they know they're drunk. Whereas if you're tired, you're just over it, and that's when a lot of accidents happen. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Getting your ass kicked at work and then going home and taking care of a toddler all day sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, that's way worse.
Doing it hungover also sucks.
I don't have to do anything. I just choose to do things.
Yeah.
I also don't have to do anything.
That was the day, man. Those were the days. Like Isaac said, thank you for everyone who's been watching our turkey hunting content. The last episode will be up on next Sunday. So the following Sunday, we'll have our last episode of the Turkey Camp Chronicles for the season, unless something crazy happens and more content needs to be made, but I doubt anything will be made between now and then.
Oh, other update. I can make a update from Uncle Jay, who is currently bear hunting in one of the great states of the West.
Harvest Moon Outdoorsman Seasons Left Limited is out in the western side of the United States.
He says he's seen every species of North American mammal except for a bear, which he's hunting. He's seen wolf, moose, elk, deer. He says the first time he's seen a wolf in the wild.
That's pretty cool.
Wolf.
Hopefully he's getting it all on film. Wolf. They make fun of me at work because I say milk.
Milk.
Fix Ethan's microphone. He looks like an idiot.
Well, nobody's watching the video. But
there we go. Now you look proper.
Anyways, he's hunting a great state out west for black bear for the next, I think he's got 10 days left to hunt.
Yeah, he was going out there for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
he's planning on getting really drunk in Salt Lake City and getting some new ink.
Yeah.
Trying to find wild women or something like that, he said.
That's something of that nature.
Yeah, at the end of it.
Par for the course.
Yep.
So good luck to him.
I kind of got into it for a second there, but Spaniel killed a bird. Which will be featured on this last upcoming episode of the Turkey Camp Chronicles with Ethan's bird. And Spaniel killed his bird on film, self-filming. He actually did it. He heard me complaining about all the times he hunted.
One of the hardest thing to do around here, I will say, even harder to do is shoot a antelope self-filming.
I don't know anything.
Not in a blind.
I don't know anything about that, but killing a turkey self-filming without a blind running gun is pretty fucking hard. It's pretty hard. And Spaniel did it with his fancy camera. So thank you, Spaniel. You guys will get to see that. He showed me some clips of the footage through Snapchat, and it's good.
So we'll have one more episode of Turkey Camp.
It's very good. Yep. He'll have 2 kills on it.
Cool.
Yeah, it'd be pretty awesome. you're going to start seeing a lot more Family Dream Farm and us talking about the Family Dream Farms, because that's basically what we're going to be doing for the next 3 months until we start hunting out west in Kentucky.
Yeah,
So
it'll be Family Dream Farm, food plots and stuff.
Yeah.
And it'll be Velvet Bucks, which is,
Right around the corner.
yeah, 40, 50 days we'll start seeing actual full antler deer.
I mean, we're getting, there's already some bucks with antlers out to their ears right now, which is
Good.
pretty awesome. I went around today switching all the cameras from my turkey spots, or a majority of my cameras from the turkey spots to deer spots, put them on some licks and some food plots.
How come we don't have that?
We need that.
Where is that?
It's at Nick's house.
I need that for my
We
yard.
need that for our food plots, a roller.
Anyways,
Yeah, we're watching food plotting videos in the background.
Yeah.
But so I got to make a decision on my main food plot. I guess that's the first direction I'm going to go with this Family Dream Farm stuff. The Seafield plot, where killed 2 turkeys this year, and then I killed my buck last year, and we talk about it all the time.
how does it look? Is it clover? Is it
It's junk. It's nothing but weeds and big gaps. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like pure junk.
the soil there is junk?
Yeah, the soil is junk. But I got to figure out what I want to do because it's surrounded by alfalfa.
Brand new
So for
alfalfa.
this year, it's going to have green alfalfa. For the next 10 years, it's going to have really green, lush alfalfa all around it. So
This
that's
is
been
first,
the big struggle. Is if I plant clover or chicory, it's kind of like planting more of what's already there.
Mm-hmm.
I might try and do. I thought about this when I was in there today. I may try and do like a spread, kill, crimp, and do chicory in there for now, which is a little bit different than the alfalfa. And then it'll see how that takes by fall. If it's in good shape come fall, I may, leave it. And if not, if it's in bad shape, then I'm gonna.
well,
I'll kill it and put in brassicas like I did last.
and
year.
last year we had such good luck hunting there. I think that's just because the deer like going through that
Yes.
plot to get to the freshly planted
Correct.
hayfield.
It is a nice pinch. They like to come out into the field in that low spot right there. And it's got the watering hole and stuff too. There's a couple trails going around there. It's just like we've talked about. It works really well. But I want to have something in there for them to eat on their way out. Plus those acorns. So the acorns were a huge draw on that bottom last year.
Yeah.
They're still, their acorn caps are all over it. So
I mean, we shot all sorts of deer out of that corner.
yeah. So I got to figure out what I want to do. So I think in my mind I've made that decision that I'm going to do the crimp chicory for the summer. So I'll spread a bunch of seed, then take the sprayer through there, kill everything, then hit it with the cultipacker.
But then basically,
really push it down and see what pops up.
basically see how that's looking going into the season. Going into the
Because then we
fall.
can just keep it mowed. If it's looking really good, we can just keep it mowed. The big clover plots are all looking great. So that early rain and then we had high temperatures for a little bit there in March made these clover plots just pop. So they're all, foot tall, 14 inches tall clover right now. Probably need to mow soon. So I'm thinking maybe this week I can talk one of us into getting some cleth in that sprayer.
Well, what if we mowed them once, so that'll kill some of the weeds and stuff, and then obviously the grass and clover will take off and then spray the grass.
I want to see if we
Because there's probably some
spray it first, it might that really tall clover might be able to come up over top everything then.
But there's probably some broadleaf, like annual type weeds in there.
Yeah.
That if you mow off, that'll kill those off.
If we mow it, I want to mow it tall.
Especially this, what's the yellow shit
Yeah, what
called?
is that yellow stuff that's in all the fields?
Kyle said, our farmer, he said once you mow it once or twice, it usually doesn't come back.
Okay. The food plots have that in right now too.
Yeah.
So maybe
I think we
will-
need to mow it, spray it, because I don't think the cleth will kill that. Cleth kills grass. That's more of a broadleaf.
So I would do the brush hog and I would keep it tall, not mow it low. So that's, I guess, that should be what we do this week. Sometime, if I get a chance sometime this week,
As long as it stays dry.
I'm going to mow it. I think. Minerals need refreshed again. We did it once.
Yeah.
We did it once, but man, they are getting hammered. There's a couple spots. I got to go spot. There's some cameras that are dead, so I got to go check them out. But we definitely need to get some more minerals out.
And if
here
you don't have your minerals out, get them out ASAP. A lot of people start putting them out at the end of the summer towards the season, and that really doesn't.
Yeah,
help
because they
the
just
deer.
want to see the bucks.
But
like
that
right
really,
now,
it really doesn't help the deer.
Right, correct. Right now is the time they need to be out. For sure. I might do a little bit, when we're done with this podcast, I might run and do a couple more spots. Put some blocks out and get some cameras out just to kind of keep an eye on things. Because as much as I like seeing strutting turkeys on my cameras, it's time for velvet antlers.
Yeah.
By 4th of July, you're going to be able to tell what bucks are. So, we got a month and a half till then.
Yeah, it's
So,
not
it's
not
gonna be-
that far off.
Going to be here soon. It's going to be here real soon. I'm going to bring the backhoe over now that I have a backhoe attachment for the tractors. I'm going to bring the backhoe over and clean out the watering
Go to
holes.
town on
We
your
wanna
watering
We
holes?
want to avoid all the EHD that we can. So I like to, in the springtime, and the backhoe is going to make it so much nicer, I like to go in and clean out the edges, like the leafy muck that accumulates on the edge of these watering holes after the fall.
Speaking of
So
EHD,
clean the edges out to make them deep on the edge so the grass goes right up to the water kind of thing.
speaking of EHD, when does that start hitting? Not till end of summer? Like, when will we
Yeah,
know
so-
if there's outbreaks happening?
It just depends on stagnates. When you get those long, dry droughts, stagnant mud is what causes
that's like
it. So,
August,
right now, with all
September.
this crazy rain we're getting, the watering holes get filled up every day, and it's
Which-
not that big of a deal.
Might make it worse later on.
Later.
Yeah,
on.
the best way to avoid it would have steady rain throughout. To keep things wet throughout, that would be the best way to avoid it. So we can hope that we get some steady rain. I know it does need to dry out right now for the farmers. Really, really fucking
I've
bad.
seen a couple fields sprayed. I saw one tractor turn dirt the other day, but nothing around here.
No, there's been
Nothing.
I'm trying to think. Somewhere I saw that some people had some stuff in, but my gosh, is it bad for all the farmers that we know that are our friends, unfortunately. Just not going well for them. No one's got
too wet.
anything in the ground and
Yeah, no good.
no good at all. So hope for some dry rain. Or some dry stretches without rain. I'm going to start, you're going to see the Family Dream Farm take it to some new places. I'm going to do some episodes at my house. I'm going to take down a whole bunch of pasture fencing here in the next week or two when I get a chance. And I got to do some brush hogging. And then I think I'm going to turn a lot of what the pasture was into a big brassica plot this fall. I may eventually turn it into like a clover plot and just keep it mowed from time to time. But I want to put some food on the back side of my property where I can just kind of watch deer from the back porch and stuff in the distance. And
Maybe eventually hunt them.
yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I wrote a letter to some of the neighboring neighboring landowners to see if I could get some hunting permission. So we'll see how that goes.
Right on.
It'd be pretty exciting if I was able to acquire that big chunk
I got to
property
figure out.
behind me.
I got to figure out what to do with mine. I have yard now,
Yeah.
and I want to plant something eventually.
You could always do a big brassica plot in the back for the first year because it helps with the soil, you know, especially when they don't.
But we don't want to have to do that until July, August.
No, yeah, you don't have to do that till You don't have to do that till end of August into September, honestly. But you can start prepping it. Mm-hmm. Plant some kind of
Because
cover
it was
crop,
corn.
cover crop
It was
or something.
corn, yes.
Yeah. But we're gonna see my house for that. I'm gonna do some watering holes and some mineral licks there too soon, very soon. I should be doing that now, but I'm not.
Episodes on the back 7.
Yes, the back 7. What are we gonna call yours?
Mine's a yard.
The yard. Called
Mine's all dependent upon the neighbors. They've been pretty active on dirt bikes and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see.
My neighborhood's pretty quiet, which has been nice. All right, I want to talk about a few podcasts real quick. That's kind of where we're going to go for this discussion today.
Not going to be a whole lot of help because I read or listened to about half of one of them.
Well, we've been telling people to listen to Mike Rex on the Bowhunter or the Borneo Bow Hunting podcast. We've said it a couple times, and I said how much I enjoyed it, but I want to talk a little bit. And you said you listened to about 45 minutes of it. I want to talk a little bit about what he said in that podcast. And I'm going to be paraphrasing because I didn't write down exact notes, but I definitely enjoyed it. And having him on, those guys having him on was very smart for them because I think they're going to continue to try and be involved in the meetings and the Hunters Advocacy of Ohio stuff. And I know we went down that route this winter and then kind of stopped with it.
And they're the perfect people to do it. They're like-minded, like us, but they're a whole lot more PC than we are.
Articulate with what they're not going to get mad until they got to fuck off.
Yeah, because they don't play that game. Like,
Jay really wanted to get Mike on our podcast, but I think Jay was going to do it to try to get to his throat. And it didn't happen. And I think he's a little bit upset that it didn't happen, but
and it also sounds like that doesn't matter.
No, you don't.
So the people that are on, so it's the Wildlife Committee Board, whatever. It's the board that
Wildlife Council.
the Wildlife Council. They're all appointed by the governor.
Correct. So, and then the governor obviously gets input on who to appoint based on his circles that he runs in of people.
And the chair is picked by the whole council.
Yes.
So Mike Rex is the chair.
Yep.
So they're not. It's not an elected position. They're picked by.
I think the ladies, the woman that runs it is elected, or no, she must be
she's
appointed by the governor.
That's
too.
just a job. That's like a
Yeah.
fire chief.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
the chief of the ODNR.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that, and listening to them, a lot of those people on that board and council have been on for a long time. So several different governors, several different
Correct.
regimes.
Because it's hard to redo it every time. You need people that kind of know what's going on to be involved, you know.
So that it also explains why there isn't big changes very often.
Correct. Because it's the same people all the time. And Mike said a couple things that were interesting to me. The man's very smart, for one. The dude is very, very smart. Mm-hmm. He said a couple things such as he didn't know how big of a deal it was going to be if they tried to stop fall turkey hunting, was one. He said they had people coming out of the woodwork in defense of the fall turkey hunting. They did change the regulations where you can no longer shoot them with your bow, which I agree with, because I
agree with that fully.
I guarantee you every bird was killed over a pile of corn.
Except for those diehard fall turkey hunters that use
correct.
shotguns and use different strategies of fall hunting.
Dogs and breaking up flocks and all that. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to see the fall turkey harvest decline rapidly, I believe, which is probably
bet
good
people
for the
still
spring.
And according to Mike Rex, that's exactly what they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet people will still kill them with their bows and just tag them with guns.
I bet you they will too. Yeah. 75%.
Yeah.
The discussions they had about a doe only season were pretty cool. I don't know if you
I didn't make it that far.
So the big issue's always been people want to kill does, but it's hard to kill does when you could also potentially be killing your buck, and whatever you're doing in the woods might make the buck hunting worse.
Yeah, like we usually don't kill does early season if we're dialed in on a buck, because it messes things up.
Correct.
You're in the woods, you have to recover that doe, all this, blah, blah, blah. Why would you shoot it if you have a chance at a buck? And
so they kind of proposed like having a season where it's does only for like a week or so, 3 days to a week, and you can't shoot bucks at all with any weapon during that period of time, which some people would be real big mad about that, I believe. Mm-hmm. But I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if it was firearms open for that too, like a doe only firearm season.
like we can just lay waste
Just
in
go out
September and do a bunch of does.
I think maybe the best time to do it would be like
It'd be nice to do it before they're bred, though.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. You're still trying to take out population, but I would like to see it happen at the end of January or at the end of December. Sorry, the end of December, because I think we should stop hunting New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. I think New Year's Eve should be the last day.
That'd be
I've said this on the podcast multiple times, and some people would not like that, but I think we should stop hunting these deer on New Year's Eve and give them time to recover.
No doubt.
Instead of this second week in February.
And it would be a cool holiday tradition over Christmas, New Year's, that's the doe gun season.
Correct. And make the last day.
So people would enjoy that. They're off work. They could go hunt. They can use a firearm. We'd be shooting a lot of does.
I think it'd be cool. People would be mad about this, but think about if we made it so the last day that you could shoot a buck would be Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Day through New Year's Eve, doe only, any weapon.
Hey, signed, sealed, delivered, stamp it, tell Born Again to present it.
You could give extra tags. I would say extra tags. So this whole 3 deer per county thing is kind of gay. Like if we could kill an additional 5 does in that window of time, I think a lot of us would. Especially if it's not going to mess up our buck hunting whatsoever, because it's over. You can no longer shoot a buck after this date. The antlers are shedding off.
So I know there will be people that complain that have properties in certain areas, not ours, that have lower deer numbers. Can the ODNR be a little bit more active on quotas in different areas?
Yeah.
So those areas that don't have a lot of deer, they can say, well, this season's not open there. But places like here, where you go out late season, you see 100 does.
Right.
We can shoot some of those does.
Correct. I think they could.
There's no reason they couldn't.
No, I definitely think that they could make stuff like that happen.
And you can just have a sample of hunters and landowners that, give ODNR information.
And this kind of ties into the next podcast I want to talk about, the Ted Nugent one. There are places where there are so many deer that they are bringing people in to sniper and or do all the weird stuff they do to call populations outside of cities in these high populated areas. Why not make it easier for hunters to just do that legally?
Yeah.
Why do we got to have these cities pay a sharpshooter
Which basically
$50,000 to call deer?
Yeah, and what we found out, these are people that work for the ODNR, work for the sheriff's department.
Correct.
Friends of people that work
Yes.
for the ODNR. They just go out and shoot these deer.
Correct. They're getting paid to shoot these deer. They donate them. That's all great. But why not let the hunters do the same thing? The hunters can shoot them, and then we can donate them.
With our population of deer in Ohio, there should be nobody saying they don't have access to kill deer somewhere.
Yeah, and I would argue, Hunter made that great argument that access is the biggest problem, and I would agree. But there's some steps that we could take if we have to open it up. We have places like Findlay State Park where they don't allow hunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just draws, yeah.
So if we have if we have an overpopulation of deer and it's known that there's an overpopulation of deer, guess what? For that week after Christmas, you open that place up to everyone to hunt the entire place. No one's camping.
Well,
On New Year's Eve in the Findlay State Park.
and we live near
Let us hunt.
We live near the Medina County parks, the Cleveland Metro Parks, the Cuyahoga National, whatever, the Cuyahoga Valley.
Cuyahoga Valley National Park.
That is thousands and thousands and thousands of acres that aren't being hunted.
Right.
Yet they complain about too much deer.
It would be impossible to hunt the Cuyahoga Valley National Park because it's a national park.
Yeah, they could cordon it off.
But the Medina County Park District, if we have that special doe only season, or you can do it at different times of the year too. And in the whole making it a draw and getting your permit to be there for a month, that works for the smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
But if we recognize that Medina has too many deer, Medina County has too many deer, and we need to kill does, open up the parks and let us go in there with a $10 tag or a free tag and kill 3 does each.
Mm-hmm.
Let us do it. Why not? They aren't allowing us to use the resource. They're Beauregarding it and keeping it for themselves.
And they're the
they're
the largest landowner in Medina County.
That's what I'm saying. And in the Ted Nugent podcast, which I want to talk about next a little bit, talks about that a lot. He keeps referencing these places in Michigan that have more bow hunters per capita than anywhere else on the planet, and more deer per capita than anywhere else on the planet, and the government's sniping deer at night because they can't kill enough does. How is that? Why is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Bizarre.
Eventually, the state, it'll never happen. But if the problem persists and we get to the situation where there's so many does that we really need to kill more, they're gonna start looking at earn a buck and force people to shoot a doe first and take it to a check station to get a pure quote.
Do they have the resources for that?
I
don't know how they did that before we did it.
80% of the ODNR is administrative positions. That's where the budget goes. So we might have to start eliminating some of those and opening up in the field officers.
Yeah, then you start getting into government corruption and misallocation of funds, misallocation of funds and this and that and blah 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 blah.
That's a podcast for another day.
I was at the VA the other day. My nurse was from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
She had a contract here?
I don't know. She was asking for places to fish. And I'm like, oh, you can go to here. It's like, how's the DNR there? Is there 3 to 4 guys at every boat ramp? I'm like, no. There's one.
For the county.
If
he's even here.
Yeah. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah. She's like,
and he goes to one place, which is the Chippewa Lake.
And she was confused because up in Minnesota, there's 3 to 4 officers at every boat ramp in the land of the lakes of Minnesota.
Yeah, because fishing is just such a big deal there for all those people.
Yeah, and out west, it's the same thing. There's millions and millions of acres in the state of Montana. I've seen game wardens everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Ohio just does not value. Ohio just doesn't have a value on in the field game wardens.
Same thing with PA.
Don't even get me started on some of the neighboring ones and the things that we've had said.
Well, yeah.
The Alaska flying rules is something that they need to make happen. If drones are not going to go away, and so many people are owning them, the cost of ownership is going down, and they're usable. They're a great tool for finding wounded deer, and it's not illegal to scout with them. They need to institute the Alaska flying rules, where if you fly a drone on a property for 24 hours, you are not allowed to hunt. Nobody is allowed to hunt that property for 24 hours.
I agree completely.
I don't know how
completely and utterly agree.
I don't know how they're going to do the whole deer recovery, wounded deer thing with that.
Well, some states have just said you can't use them at all.
Yeah.
Montana, we'll try to get some B-roll for some video we're filming or something. You can't hunt that day. You can't hunt that property again. So the only video I've ever used from a drone in Montana is on my way home.
At that wedding last night, I had to explain. One of the Wild Time boys was there in his spirits, He was heavily into his spirits, and he was saying, well, you're a fucking liar. I've seen you guys fly drones while hunting all the time. And I had to tell him how, like, all the out west states, and especially when we go down to deer camp in Pennsylvania, we fly the drone the morning that we're leaving every time.
Always when we're done
I'm
hunting.
like, listen, I know it looks like there's footage of fall leaves in West Virginia where we're hunting, like, but we fly the drone for our B-roll as we're leaving. It's like one of the last things we pack up. We're all around the cabin. Isaac takes a drone up, wherever state we're in, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, when we're out west. That last day, you just get your B-roll shots. You know, we'll record some stuff at night when we're around the campfire, but we don't fly the drone while we're hunting.
Not to mention, we're flying cereal box drones compared to what.
Yeah, and we don't have a thermal for one, so
what
our
all these
drones
other
are.
people
our
It'd be
drones-
very impressive if we could use that thing to track a deer and
Yeah.
go hunting because you can't see shit
No.
with that thing.
We do it purely for the cinematic effect.
Yep, and we do it, and we all, like I said, we do it. We do it as we're leaving usually. I had to clear up some air because there was some talk about some drones being used by some guys, and I think it was misinformation. I don't think the guys were using the drones to find the game birds.
So this may all be rumors and hearsay, but for the first time, I heard somebody using a drone to find turkeys.
I think they were doing what we were talking about. I think they were trying to get their B-roll, and just while they were doing that, just
Happy to see
happened to
some
notice that
strutting
there was a
turkeys.
turkey.
They go kill the turkeys then?
No, they passed the information on, and the guys didn't. No one hunted them. I don't think so.
Good.
I think they're all never mind. They weren't tagged out.
No, but they did the right thing.
Yeah.
So it was misinformation being spread. They found a drone. They found a turkey with the drone, but it wasn't in the context of let's go shoot that thing. We found it in the field, kind of thing.
You guys may have talked about this last week. I didn't make it all the way through. What is up with turkey hunting this year? There's turkeys everywhere.
So some people don't.
Something happened.
So yeah, but some people don't. So
Maybe it's just maybe we're in a bubble.
I was talking with some of the guys that live over by my house, and not one gobble yet. The whole entire season on their farm, they have not heard.
Maybe
one
we were in
gobble.
a bubble. Maybe years past where we thought it was really bad, we were in the wrong bubble. Now we're in the good bubble. Who knows?
I'm going to attribute it back again to the alfalfa. I think the alfalfa is the alpha and the omega, and the reason why things have changed on our property so much for the better, because we just have so much green food throughout the entire season.
And also the one bird has had to have helped.
Yeah,
You can only shoot one bird.
going down to one, because the good turkey hunters will easily kill two.
Yeah.
You know, and so the fact that everyone can only get one bird has helped, and we have a lot of food and nesting areas now for our hens, and I just think everything that has gone down around our area has helped immensely with the turkey population. Cool. I'm not going to complain whatsoever about that. It's good. The last podcast I want to talk about real quick was the Ted Nugent on Hunter. So if you listen to Hunter, you obviously saw the Ted Nugent podcast. It was a big deal. Obviously, Ted Nugent is one of the world's most famous rock stars. I think he had the #1 touring concert in the world for like 77, 78, 79. So at one point he was the biggest rock star on the planet. He's from Michigan. He has a farm in Michigan and a farm in Texas that's high fence. I think he has a small high fencer in Michigan as well.
Do you think he's the biggest celebrity hunter?
Not
a celebrity from hunting, but a celebrity that hunts.
Yeah, nowadays probably him, or like Rogan hunts. You know,
Yeah.
and those his people. He made some.
Ted
jokes.
Nugent's been doing it for 40 years.
He's been doing it for 78 years. He
yeah.
said. The stories with him and Fred Bear growing up, knowing Fred Bear and stopping in his bow shop, and then spending his later years of his life getting to know Fred when Fred was sick. That's awesome.
Yeah,
because,
you can't beat that.
There's
That's
nothing you can do.
good stuff.
There's nothing you can do to beat that. That stuff was very touching. I very much enjoyed his stories on Fred Bear. That being said, his blatant disregard for the rules is concerning. Ted is one of those so hard right-wing Republicans that if a rule is stupid, it doesn't apply to him.
And he
simply chooses to ignore rules that he thinks are stupid.
And I could be wrong. He hunts a lot of high fence. His
hunts-
own house is high fence.
He's
right?
got Texas and Michigan. He has a high fence ranch where he can hunt every day if he wants to.
So, yeah,
he has low fence and high fence.
There is a lot of rules that don't apply to
Correct. But he straight up said, which, take this for what it's worth. He straight up said, I don't give a shit in Michigan. If I want to bait, I'll bait, and they can't stop me. Tell them to come tell me they can't bait. So he and I don't know the exact rules in Michigan for baiting. Some places you can, some places you can't, I guess. I'm not too well versed on it, but he did have a pretty big blatant disregard for the rules that he didn't think were smart.
Which sucks.
The Sunday hunting in Pennsylvania thing, I guess he had a big hand in helping turn that around. He said if he hunted this year in Pennsylvania where the Sunday hunting is not yet allowed, he's like, I would just hunt on Sunday. I don't care.
See, and that's
stuff like that. You can't. That's not exactly good to put out to an audience because a lot of people are going to take that and say, you know what, if Uncle Ted thinks it's okay, then I like Uncle Ted, and fuck it, we're all on the same team. I'm going to start hunting on Sunday. They can't tell me what to do either. You know?
And the problem with that is hunting laws and game laws in general are so self-regulated.
Correct.
Because the law enforcement aspect is not
We just talked about it.
is not available in a lot of
Correct.
places. So if the hunters aren't self-regulating the laws, they're not being followed.
I mean, there's a lot of hunting laws that I don't exactly love either, but I do understand why some laws and I understand why most laws are in place. I do understand that. And if you're going to be a leader in the hunting world, I think you have to
respect.
I think
the
you have
laws.
to respect it a little.
And
bit
if you don't agree with the laws, go through the proper channels to try to change them.
Correct.
Don't just disregard them.
But it's easier to disregard them and do what you want. So
And
Yeah.
no offense to Ted Nugent, he'll never hear this.
He might.
We've run into this with other people that we know. You get to a certain age, we're not calling them
Stop
old.
giving a fuck.
You just stop giving a shit, which is cool.
Yeah, I
Certain
mean,
things like because
right.
you stop caring what people think. You're like, your days on this earth are limited, so you're not going to lose sleep or spend your precious time caring what other people think.
correct. Is not an excuse to be breaking blatant game laws. But,
Correct.
But a lot of, and Ted is in a different category. He's on text message terms with the president of the United States, and he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So if he wants to make a stance on some things and do some things and act above the law, he's going to have a lot better resources to get away with that than Johnny Be Good. You know what I mean? Some random
But it is
fucking
sad
guy.
because he could also have the resources to change that.
And he does. So he talked a lot about Hunters. I think it's called Hunter's Legacy or Hunter's. There's a Hunter Nation. So Hunter, Hunter, Hunter Nation is this organization he got. According to him, it's the reason why President Trump became president, because they helped like hundreds of thousands of guys that never voted, that were Republican deer hunters, get registered to vote and voted in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, some of those states.
Yeah, but how's that going for us?
Not so well. But don't tell him that.
Different topic. Different day.
But he did. So Hunter Nation is something is a group that you would like, that would be good to join. They're all about hunting laws and regulations and getting things passed. They're not so much geared towards whitetails. They talked about that in the podcast. They don't gear it a lot towards whitetails. It's more about sheep seasons and mountain lions and getting certain critters taken off the endangered species list and shit like that. Grizzly bears for one.
Can we get grizzly bears off?
Yeah, he wants to really bad get grizzly bears off the endangered species list.
Because
and they probably should be.
They are becoming a big problem in places. I've yet to see one.
And here's the thing. I've seen them in the parks, but that doesn't count.
I've seen them in the parks too.
Here's the thing about the grizzly bears. Guess what? In today's age, with the laws and our ability to monitor and trail cameras and conservation and drones and helicopters, if we remove something from the endangered species list and drastic things start happening to where the species is declining again, guess what? We can put them back on.
Mm-hmm.
We will know that things are bad and are happening and be able to get them put back on. But
I know that people are very frustrated with the grizzly bears and also the wolves.
yeah, yes, wolves are becoming so correct me if I'm wrong. We can't hunt wolves in the lower 48, right?
No, you can.
Certain places.
There's certain states that have seasons. So I know Idaho is the most liberal with it. They pretty much have an open season in the fall.
Got it.
Montana, I believe there's public-private land rules, and you also have to have tags and blah, blah, blah. Idaho is definitely the place that you can go shoot them.
Because I know there's a lot of people that have a problem with it in like Minnesota and Wisconsin, right?
You can't hunt
up
them
there,
up
and you
there.
can't hunt them there. Maybe
Those are the
Michigan,
Canadian.
the UP of Michigan, maybe. So
That's the big thing right now with our buddy from Gritty. Not Gritty himself, but his buddy.
he was killing wolves.
He killed a wolf in a area that you can kill wolves, but it is alleged he killed it somewhere else, and he collected the bounty from a more expensive.
They pay you to
certain units. If you shoot a wolf, they'll give you a bounty for it, like whether $1,500 or something.
Yeah.
Helps pay
Because
for
they
your
want the
hunt.
wolves killed. Yeah. Someone is alleging that he didn't actually kill it there. He just claimed he did for the extra money.
Your Pedro buddy, is this who you're talking about?
No. This is Stealthy Hunter is his name, but I can't remember.
I think we talked about that on a podcast.
Yeah, we have.
ago. Yeah.
Stealthy Hunter is his Instagram. I don't know what ever ended up happening with him.
I haven't seen a lot of. There hasn't
Ryan
been
Lampert.
a lot of drama lately with any of the Instagram or YouTube hunters that I've seen.
Ryan Lampers. Speaking of, I know he was acquitted or whatever you say, that Muley Freak. For the love of God, his fucking videos
Gay.
and his AI thumbnails.
Gay.
The videos might be decently made, but the AI thumbnails are so bad. So fucking bad. They make me so bad.
Yeah, I know. Kendall Gray and Kirk Price too.
Yep,
Like,
yeah.
They have these crazy AI. It's their job, and they need people to click so they can make money. So,
But
they're in a different category than us,
and
I guess.
whoever's watching them, it's not us. There's a lot of people watching. They get 25,000 views in the first hour.
Yeah, their video views. I did a little experiment the other day. Ethan was part of that chat message thread. Like, I was logged out on YouTube, so I typed in deer hunting, turkey hunting, deer camp, and like,
And how many of the top 10 were AI thumbnails?
well, Kirk Price had a video in all the categories in the top 10, multiple, and so did THP. So it was like THP, Kirk Price, Kendall Gray, Real Tree, Mossy Oak, Seek One. Basically had every video as one of like those 5. For the deer camp, our videos were popping up, so I think my cookies on the computer were still kind of affecting that search, because there's no way our deer camp videos should be number 1 on all the internet, but that'd be cool if it was.
Yeah, it would be cool.
And they're still getting views. Today I did my weekly look at the YouTube studio, and it was the top 8 videos were all Chronicle episodes, either deer or turkey camp chronicles. So I like to
Sweet.
see that. So our newer episodes are getting
More traction.
which is good. I like that.
Big things this fall.
Yeah,
Big things.
this fall's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. So make sure you pay attention to the videos this fall. Like I said, Turkey Camp Chronicles are wrapping up. The last episode will be out this next upcoming Sunday, so watch for that. After that, it's going to be we're filming for Deer Camp Chronicles season 4, episode 1. We're doing a lot of filming for that, but that won't come out until September-ish. I have a lot of stuff. We have a ton of stuff coming out in like August, September.
Are we getting deer stories?
Jay's Moose Hunt, 3 deer stories episodes. Yeah. So the 3 deer stories, Jay's Moose Hunt, whatever your Western stuff is. I don't know if you'll probably wait a year on that. Mm-hmm. And then, but Deer Camp Chronicles season 1.
Yeah, because I won't be back till deer season starts here.
And we're starting in Kentucky, so the Deer Camp Chronicles will be starting. I think the first episode will probably be the week we're in Kentucky, and then
Yeah.
the second episode will be Kentucky hunting again.
Right on.
Right on.
Deer Shot Podcast.
139.
We are out.
Out.
Peace.